campus, and those kids, they don't care.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you are a college student and you had Airbnbs on college.
On a college campus.
Oh, you was trapping out of campus. You was trapping out the bando. So all right. So now that was a bunch of education. We're gonna go into some do's and don'ts for the Airbnb industry in the next segment, and some more game.
Yeah. Ernest, what's up? We saw the DMs, we got your voicemails, we got the text messages, we got breaking news.
Yes, our brother Ian Dunlap, aka the Master Investor, has extended his elite high performance stock club. The new stock club just came out. It was extended 50% off, has been extended to July 13th, Monday, July 13th.
Yeah, so by the time you see this on the next Market Monday, we're gonna have some new members. Don't wait, don't hesitate.
Yes, and once again, that includes 28 potential high growth stocks, 10 dividend stocks, and a long list of other things. All the information is on our website, earnyourleisure.com, under the events tab, also streaming on the top of the banner on our website. So go to earnyourleisure.com, check it out. 50% sale has been extended to July 13th.
There you have it. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.
All right, so one question that I had was, the regular homeowner, I got that. Somebody wants to just rent their home or their apartment if they own it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about like these apartment buildings where nobody owns them, they're just like whether it's luxury or just a regular apartment building, but it's owned by like a corporation that owns the building, but you could still Airbnb that. Like, how does that? Who do you approach? Because you don't approach the owner. Like, how does that work? And I just want to make this clear too. Like, every state is different. We're in Georgia right now, so obviously I know LA is kind of cracking down, Boston.
Yeah.
So this conversation is geared. A lot of the stuff can be geared towards everything, but this probably would be geared towards where we're at now in Atlanta.
Right.
You got to check your own states and cities, but like in Atlanta, right? How does that work?
So in Atlanta, we don't have any regulations here yet. I'm not going to some wood because the reason the regulations are in place are due to people having those large parties. There's some crazy things that go on in the Airbnb industry that people don't realize. Like, it gets deeper than just checking in and checking out guests. You get to a point where, like, for instance, one of my units, my housekeeper went in and there was blood everywhere.
Wow.
So she called me, like, she was afraid. My assistant called me. She's like, Lexi, and I'm like, what's going on? It was the first time I've had it happen.
When they checked in, it was
no.
blood? Oh.
When the housekeeper went to clean after the guest checked out.
Okay.
There was blood everywhere. So you have those different things where the government wants to regulate, and then of course they don't get paid off us. There's people on the platform that's making $1 million, $5 million, and the government gets none of it. So you know how they are. They want a piece of everybody's pie. So when it comes to those regulations, those states, they have their reasons why, whether it's for tax regulations, whether it's for those. So here in Atlanta, I know we have this thing where even in our mansions, people want to have those large parties, and then you have neighbors, the cars are parked all in the cul-de-sac. Like, those are all different reasons the regulations come about. So when it comes to the luxury apartments, it's really hard for them to regulate it here because none of those issues are really going on besides the tax regulations, which is government controlled. Now,
where we live, like, obviously having subleasing sometimes is frowned upon. What's that like here in Atlanta?
Subleasing, like, for luxury apartments?
Yeah.
So to your question, Alex, there's units where they don't care about you doing it, but you're not supposed to.
Okay.
So, like, there's a few buildings here in Atlanta to where they don't really care. Like, they know the whole building is Airbnb. Like, don't even try me. I'm coming in here and applying. It's my Airbnb.
They got new tenants every 3 days.
Yeah.
But how does that work though? Like, do you have to actually apply for the apartment like you're renting it yourself?
Yeah. So you would go in, apply regular as if you were renting it yourself.
Okay.
And you furnish it as if it was an Airbnb. Not as if you were living in it, as if somebody was coming to stay in for a few days. You do everything the same as if you were moving in. People think it's so hard. It's not.
But you can only do that. You can't really scale with that because it's like, how many apartments can you lease under your name?
Unless you do it through a company.
So the company is different, but renting a mountain apartments under your name don't matter.
Oh,
because only the inquiries go on your report, not the apartments. The apartments only go on your credit report if you get evicted or if you leave a balance.
So you can rent as many apartments as you want.
Yeah.
As long as you pay them.
As long as you pay them.
I know you have a background in credit.
I do.
Yeah. What was the role that credit plays in being a part of this Airbnb hosting?
So no evictions. A lot of places, no bankruptcies, and then away from credit, no, you have to have a clear background. That's all that matters.
There's no minimum score or anything like that?
Decent. I think a lot. So for luxury, I think you got to have at least like a 600, 620.
That's it?
Yeah, it's not that bad. Like you ain't gotta walk in there with no 850.
So like, what about like a photographer? Like me personally, when I look at the Airbnbs, I'm always big on like the pictures, and I'm like, some people don't have like one picture, and then some people their pictures look crazy. I never forget. Shout out to my man Jamal. We went to Asia for 30 days, and we picked the Airbnb in Thailand, and it was crazy. Like it was so crazy. Like the pictures looked dope. And we got there, and we was driving for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, and it's like back roads. And I'm like, all right.
Wonder where this
like,
place is going to be.
I wonder where this is going. And we get there, and it's a luxury apartment building.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. Literally, we look out of the window, and there's like kids playing in the street with no shoes. Like we're in the trenches.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did this come from? Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
did they show the outside on the pictures?
No, they didn't. So
got him.
So like from for the first question that I have is like photography. How important is photography? And like, what is there like certain thing like you should always show your kitchen? You should show your bath. Like, what tips can you give on that?
So let me tell you the two main contact points for any Airbnb listing: the listing title and its pictures. So not its pictures, the main picture on the front. So be careful booking Airbnbs. If it doesn't show the outside, don't book it.
Got you.
I was just looking at Airbnbs yesterday for Miami, and if it didn't show the outside, I was scrolling right by.
When you say the outside, you mean like out of the house or like a street view or?
A picture of where I'm walking into. So for this house, on the street. I want to see how the whole house looks. For an apartment building, I want to see the apartment building. For a mid-rise, I want to see the mid-rise. So like I said, the two main contact points for Airbnb listing is its title, because these are the two first things guests see when they're scrolling. Yeah.
So when you put the title, you put in first the bedrooms and like, is there a format?
So the way that I tell my clients is, don't list the city, because people already know where they're traveling to.
Okay.
They only give you a certain amount of characters to list a title, so don't be redundant. Meaning, if I go in, before you go searching for anything, you have to type where you want to stay. So if I'm typing, I want to stay in Atlanta for 5 days, I don't want to see a listing title that says Atlanta. Because now my listing title is going to be not important. It's not going to be important.
You wasted some characters.
Yeah, you're wasting your characters. So with the listing title, they see that, and then I might add a star on it. A lot of people don't know that, so that's a tip. I might add a star on my listings. Not all of them, depending on the unit. And then the main contact photo, which is the first photo they see.
Gotcha.
It needs to be bright. It needs to be lit up. Doesn't need to be. A lot of times it's either the living room or the kitchen, depending on how nice the kitchen looks.
Now, we spoke about the photography, and you said that's a big point, right? Obviously, taking the pictures.
Right.
But the interior design, how it looks inside, is very important.
Right.
You walked in here today, and you said, all right, there's some things, right? You were calculating things in your head. I saw it. Do you have an interior design background, or is there a team of people that you've built along your journey? So
I don't have an interior designer background, but I know how to do a little something. Okay. So I just have an eye for the business. Like, this is my niche. Yeah. So when I walked in here, I was like, like, that's just me. Even when the one I went to, I just came back from Utah. Like, I was looking for everything I saw in the pictures, and everything was there. Yeah. So I'm not saying be petty or be like looking for small things, but the interior designer things do matter. People want to be comfortable when they come stay. That's the main point. Yeah. If you're comfortable here, I get a 5-star review. Is there a standard thing? Like, I know a lot of times when we talk to people, alumni that are doing real estate, they keep things standard, right? We spoke to Greg Parker. He says he has the same paint for his doors, same paint for his walls. Yes. Is there a standard design that you have when it's your place? Like, we know we're staying in Lexi's spot? No. It just depends. Not at all. Okay. Because, so let me tell you this. When it comes to real estate, it's a little different. Greg is right. Like, I know Greg's standard. I know his is gray. When I walk in, it's gonna be gray. It's gonna be white tile on the ground. Yeah. All the walls are gonna be gray. And the door's gonna be red. And the door's gonna be red. That's big business. Yeah. But my units, I try to do them all different, because one thing, the industry is becoming saturated, number one. Number two, if mine is different than everyone else's, people are gonna book mine. So like, I have a movie theater, and it took me forever to come up with this idea. I was like, dang, I'm tired of doing the corporate units or just the luxury units where it's just a sofa, a kitchen, a coffee maker. I was like, I want to do something different. So when I thought of the movie theater, I was like, okay, bet. I got a projector. I I got a crown molding wall. I got a popcorn machine. I got a tray full of snacks. As if you were at a real movie theater.
And this is in a house?
No, this is at a loft that I
Okay.
have here. It's a loft. It's not an apartment. It's a loft.
That's what we're gonna have to next time we come back to Atlanta.
Yeah, I can sit there. Absolutely.
Nah, that's dope. So a lot of people sell experiences in part of their package as well.
Exactly. That's
Is that
fine.
something you do as well?
No, I don't do the experience. That's like more so of a business, like maybe doing pottery or maybe doing something like going to get fried ice cream, photography, skateboarding, things like that.
Yeah.
The movie theater is more so of a vibe. So like I'll get couples that come in, a bunch of anniversaries, a lot of husbands, they'll bring their wives. I know for a fact like 20 of those kind of reservations. I have people, they bring kids, they'll have like girls' nights, slumber parties, those kind of things for that unit. And then my friend Maddie, he's also in the business. He has an arcade, and his arcade is listed at like $1,700 a night.
Wow.
So just from him scaling his business, doing it a different way, to answer your question, look how much he gets to charge a night.
That's an
you know?
experience, yeah.
And he only pays $1,900 in rent a month for that unit.
$1,700 a night, $1,900 a month.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you could Airbnb stuff besides just living. Like you could Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. There's some creative things. There's a tree house here in Atlanta. It's not Atlanta. I think it's Stone Mountain. She charges $375 a night, and she's booked all the way until the end of December 2020.
Yeah, I think I saw something
saw
like
the
that.
treehouse?
Yeah, it's like I'm like, wait, why would somebody? But people want unique experiences. They
Yes.
sometimes they want to be away from the city.
Like,
Exactly.
like a real treehouse?
Yeah, like no joke.
Her husband built it. He's a mechanic. He built the treehouse in their backyard. It's literally in the middle of nowhere, a bunch of woods. He tore down a few trees and he built the treehouse. You walk over a bridge.
That's what I saw the bridge. Yeah.
You walk over the bridge with the Christmas lights. It's beautiful. The tub. You looking out the window. Like I'm gonna have to show it to you. It looks it's beautiful, and it's $375 a night, and she's booked every night. Like you can't even book it right now, and she still appears in the algorithm. That's big. That's really big.
So there's a lot of costs that come into this, right? So I listed a few, and if I missed some, let me know. Obviously, the furniture and the decor that
Yep.
you have to put up.
Yes.
People don't think about this, but the TV, the cable,
Yeah.
because that happens. Wi-Fi, obviously.
Yep.
Obviously, you put the cleaning costs. Are there any other costs that people don't really know about that they should if they get into this?
So let me go over my checklist. So you have the rent, you have the deposit, you have the application fee, you have the admin fee, you have furniture, decor, you have basic amenities like paper towels, tissue, because I buy those things in bulk. So it's best to buy them in bulk. Let me tell you why. When I first started, I would be buying I would go to the dollar store and get like a 4-pack of tissue. And then I find myself the guests talking about they ain't got no tissue. I got to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to take them tissue.
Right.
So then that's when I started buying it in bulk. So, once you start buying things in bulk, laundry detergent, coffee, creamer, that stuff kind of adds up.
Yeah.
So you have those basic amenities, and then you don't have to do cable. A lot of my units have Fire Stick.
Okay.
So the Fire Stick has live TV, it has pay-per-view, so they can see all the fights and stuff like that. You don't have to have
Cut costs
cable.
on that. Okay.
And then Wi-Fi, of course, you have to have Wi-Fi. And your...
Electricity.
Yep, Georgia Power. That's it.
Georgia.
So I tell my clients, outside of those that I listed, you don't need anything else. So when you get furniture, don't go get no furniture line of credit. Because that's an extra bill that you're going to have to pay every month.
Right.
Don't do it.
Well, let me ask you this, because it's like I told you off camera, I was thinking about doing this in LA, but I wanted to live there. Do you recommend, is that a good idea to have a place where you're actually physically living yourself, or you shouldn't mix those two?
So you're saying if...
live there part-time and then Airbnb it out part-time.
You can do that with me. I got real OCD with me sleeping behind people, and then you're sleeping behind different people. So that's just my personal preference.
The vibe is not. It's a little off. Yeah.
Because you get different people come in. People international. You get bed bugs. People don't understand. This is. I really run a mini hotel if you think about it. So when I think about that, hotels have bed bugs.
Yeah.
And people, you just never know where people are coming from. So I honestly don't suggest that way. Some people don't care just because they travel so much. But me, I would never do that.
Okay. So let's say, let's take for example, April. I book one of your spots, but something comes up and I have to cancel. Is that something that's rolled into your cost? Like how does that work? Cancellation fees.
So with Airbnb, there's 3 different cancellation policies. You have strict, you have moderate, and you have flexible. So flexible, moderate, and strict. Strict, you have to cancel within 14 days. I believe moderate, you got 7 days, and flexible, 48 hours.
Which one you recommend?
I do strict.
Strict.
Oh no, you're not getting over on me. Because you have to be careful with taking that risk of not getting booked if someone cancels 24 hours before or 48 hours before and you don't get booked.
and you lost money because it wasn't.
Now there are some instances where people will reach out to me based on how their profile looks, and that becomes a screening. Like I had a guy, he had like 20 reviews, all were 5